standings in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Our last trip across the bridge this year. And we're saying hello for the final time from McKeon Park in Hyannis as the Gatemen and the Harbor Hawks clash with just 2 games left to go here in the 2023 Cape Cod Baseball League regular season. Here on the leadoff spot alongside Aiden Blank, Jack Hunter with you. And Aiden, big game today for both of these ball clubs. For Hyannis, they're trying to snap a 3-game losing streak and head into the playoffs on a strong note. And for the Gatemen, they're trying to get a win against a team they have not beaten all year. The only team that they have not beaten this year.
Yeah, that is obviously the case. And also they're trying to play spoiler over the next 2 games. YD coming in likely to be playing for something on tomorrow night. So should be a very interesting next 2 games. Just because Wareham's not in the playoffs doesn't mean they can't ruin somebody else's playoffs. They have a chance to do that tonight and tomorrow. And as you mentioned, Hyannis trying to lock up the 2 seed does give them home field advantage in games 1 and 3 of the first round and potentially the second round, depending on how things go.
Well, the 1-4 matchup in the West are already set up, but the 2 and 3, they know who they're going to be playing, but they don't know where yet. And Hyannis needs to avoid losing out, and Falmouth needs to avoid winning out if Hyannis wants to keep that 2 seed. But talking about last night a little bit, a tough loss at Polar Park. Great experience, but the bats couldn't get going until too late.
Yeah, a lot of momentum, I think, late in the game. The beginning of the game, Bourne came alive. They were hitting. There were some defensive miscues. Hopefully that gets cleaned up tonight. Wareham certainly has some momentum to take out of that game. Dorian Gonzalez, the huge hit that gave Wareham their only offense of the night. So I think there's a lot to look forward to tonight out of these bats. They certainly seem to be trending in the right direction.
Let's hear the manager's thoughts. Here's Ryan Smyth with the third member of our crew, Amanda Foster.
On the leadoff spot on the manager's show with Ryan Smyth. And Coach, it's the final away game of the season for your guys. How are you feeling? How's the team feeling about today?
Good. Excited to play baseball. It's a beautiful day. So we're ready to go.
And throughout the season, we've talked about you being the one to call pitches for the catchers out here. Can you just kind of explain to me how that came about and then how you like doing it?
I think it was just we were wasting a lot of pitches. And some guys that have some firm fastballs out here, they're afraid to throw it, I guess, at times or whatever. And I felt like we were getting into deep counts. We couldn't get guys into the 5th or 6th inning. And it was more of just trying to get them to be efficient and kind of learn, what to look for in certain swings and not to get bored with throwing a fastball. And that's kind of what led to that. I enjoyed it. I mean, I was a catcher back in the day, so, I enjoy being able to, in between an inning, have a pitcher come in and, we talk about a certain sequence that we went through, why, and, it's a good teaching moment for them because most of them don't call their own game at school. They, get told what to throw or, they read it off of a wristband and they just say yes and go. So I feel like it maybe put them in a more of a comfortable situation up there, not having to think too much, just execute. And I feel like it's been, from our starters, a hell of a lot more efficient since we have.
Are there any experiences like calling pitches that you'll be able to take with you into the school, the regular season, and just help you with your coaching there?
I think it just gave me a new perspective on, obviously the guys that can dominate are the ones that can locate too. There's been some fun experiences with it of, talking with the catcher of, hey, get off the plate by 3 balls, and then, some kid hits a double, and, I'm just saying that there's no way that was outside, and Yachty or Lastra's looking in and just kind of smiling a little bit. So there's good and bad with it. It is frustrating when you call a certain pitch and we can't execute, but that's baseball, and that's what these kids are up here for, is to, learn their craft. And I think we had a handful of guys that really did that this summer.
Well, I'm going to end with more of a fun question now. Who on the team would you trust the most to babysit your daughters?
Who?
If anybody. You might not have an answer.
Given the fact that we've had camps in Wareham, I know Schaefer's been a stud at camp. It seems like all the kids like him. I don't know if he's necessarily ready yet for 5-year-old and a almost 2-year-old. But I might go with Schaefer. I think at least they'd have fun.
All right, there you go, Coach. Thank you for your time.
Back on the leadoff spot, taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard today. Some big-time matchups, including in South Yarmouth today. YD taking on Orleans. If YD wins today, they clinch the regular season championship in the Eastern Division. But if Orleans wins today, then they control their destiny for tomorrow, going up 1 point going into the last day of the season. And Aiden, some good matchups in the West tonight, or at least with some ramifications for the West.
Yeah, you start with Bourne and Cotuit. That is potentially the 1-4 matchup in the West Division, so they could be giving a little playoff preview there, the final game of the season, regular season at least, at Lowell Park. Cotuit's clinched the 1 seed. Bourne's still hanging around for maybe a 3 or a 4 seed. Falmouth needs to win their last 2 if they want the 2 seed, as we talked about in the Open. Hyannis in control of their own destiny here. If they win, they are the 2 seed. Falmouth needs Hyannis to lose out, and Falmouth needs to win their remaining 2. They'll face Harwich, who is pretty much locked into their seed already.
Here's Amanda with Jimmy Brennan.
Joined now by Jimmy Brennan. And Jimmy, during BP, I saw you talking with Mike Mobbs, and I understand that you two have been close for a while now. Can you tell me what that relationship is like?
Yeah, I've been hit with Mobbs since I was probably in like 7th grade, 6th grade maybe. So, I mean, that connection's been there for a while, and you know, he's helped me through the best hitting moments of my life and the worst too. So to have him up here is probably the best thing I could ever ask for. You know, it's whether I have a good at bat or a bad at bat, he's always completely honest with me, and he knows my swing inside and out more than anyone. So it's just probably the best connection I could ask for, especially up here.
Was he a reason why you came to Wareham?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. You know, I needed somewhere to play in the summer, and I reached out to him, and he told me he could put a word in for me, and we'll see where it goes. And luckily, you know, he helped me out, so it's awesome.
And we've talked about you coming here and then leaving and then coming back. Just overall, what's the summer experience been like for you? What's it meant?
It's been awesome. I couldn't have asked for a better experience, I don't think. You know, I wasn't here for super long the first time, but when I left, I knew this is where I wanted to be at the end of the summer. So all summer I was just hoping, and to be able to come back up here, it's a great experience, and I would say even better than the first time.
And how would you describe yourself as a baseball player when you go out on the field?
Right. I like to be confident. You know, I like to go on the field, and I like to have a presence that's bigger than myself, and I like to go out there and, you know, do what I can to help the team win. And I feel like I'm a leader, and as a catcher, you feel like you kind of have to be.
Do you think you've been able to prove something about yourself being out here playing in the Cape League?
Sure. You know, especially being from a D2 school, you know, there's always some doubts. There's always the guys that say, you know, well, he doesn't hit off, you know, guys from this school and that school. Well, coming out here, you do hit off guys from there and there. So it's definitely a chance to prove yourself against the best and show why you belong.
What's your favorite part about being up here this summer?
Honestly, just like the team experience, you know, playing with guys from all over the country that, you know, have the same love for baseball that you do and the same connections that you do. And it's just the best experience for baseball overall. It's really good. It's really good.
All right, Jimmy, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
I'm here now with Josh Stevenson. And Josh, you've been with the Gatemen for the majority of the season. Now we're coming up on the end. How are you feeling?
Feel good. You know, it's been a long summer. Learned a lot about myself. But I've enjoyed every step of it, you know, playing with these dudes. We've really made a good bond, so I've had a blast this summer.
Can I ask what kinds of things you've been able to learn about yourself?
You know, this league is very tough, so it's easy to get caught up in results and stuff, but, you know, kind of just remembering that you're here for a reason, and, you know, you try to – sorry about that. Wait, sorry. I got distracted.
Hey, you're all good. No.
Where were we?
What you learned about yourself this summer?
Oh, yeah. You know, learn how to deal with failure. You fail a lot in baseball, so just remembering to stay confident in yourself and, you know, try to stack the good days when you get them, because, you know, bad days are going to happen, but it's just how you recover and keep going from them.
And you made a big decision when you were out here this summer and committing to Ohio State and transferring from LSU. Was being up here, what role did that play in your decision, if any? Yeah,
you know, just it felt good to get back on the field again. You know, didn't play a whole lot at LSU this year, so it felt good to get some at-bats under my belt and kind of get going again. And I think that made the decision to go to Ohio State easier for me, you know, given the opportunity, you know, hopefully to go run around the outfield a little bit, get some at-bats. So I'm excited.
And what's been your favorite part about playing for the Gatemen? You had Bobby Bozer come up behind you earlier, just the relationships you've been able to build.
Yeah, no, just the people you meet. You know, every summer league I've ever been, you know, I met some great people, and I hope these bonds, you know, last for a while. So.
And you're going to be heading to Ohio State relatively soon. Just how are you feeling about going out there?
I'm excited. You know, I don't know a whole lot about Columbus or being up north, so there's definitely some things to learn, but, you know, hopefully the north treats me good, and looking forward to it.
All right, Josh, thank you for your time.
Thank you.